Alright, so here we are with Miguel Montgomery, also known as Uzi. You're definitely someone that's like, it's one of the things I admire about you. There's like an approach or an attitude towards the tattooing as it relates to like modernity and like hard work and creativity that I think you definitely have. Like I feel like you strive to create your own tattooing.
The reason why, like, a lot of the times, like, I even get to do some of the tattoos that I do is because I sit and fucking draw my ass off. Mm-hmm. When I'm at home. If I'm just sitting there, like, drinking a beer, like, just whatever, everyone's asleep, like, I'll sit and draw and paint.
Like, part of your work ethic, and it's another one of the things I really like about you, is that, to me, like, your tattooing, like, wouldn't really be the same without your painting.
For, like, a long time, you know, like, I felt like I was low man on the totem pole, so I had to show people, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I knew how to, like, paint and draw or whatnot, so I would paint all my own flash and just hang it up, you know. Like, I don't know, people would come in and they'd be like, oh, did so-and-so do this? And they'd be like, no, the guy in the back did it. Mm-hmm. And it was me, you know, so it was like, okay, like, people started getting tattooed by me more. So I just kept painting more and more and more flash and then paintings. And, like, to this day, I love painting. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's like, I normally do it every night, you know? So it's like, to me, I figure if I paint a bunch of, like, crazy, stupid designs or, like, stuff I think's funny that I know that, like, somebody else would think would be funny, like, somebody's gonna get it tattooed.
There is kind of a look of guys that's coming out as, say, like, forever tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
I think is really awesome. And I think also is sort of like a cousin to your work, kind of. You know what I mean? That's a little different. Like, I definitely really dig, like, Brett and Elan's work. And, like,
those guys are amazing.
That Forever have kind of, like, this thing that, you know, I think started with Eric, which is, like, this really over-the-top, like, tits and cars and fucking crazy, bright, like, blues and just, like, every fucking color you've got. And I think a lot of tattooers these days either shy away from using a lot of colors or play it safe, which is using a few colors, and that's fine because color is really tricky, and like if you're not comfortable with everything, like, you know, you don't want to fuck anything up. But you're someone that I think wants to use like every color in the rainbow, and you're good at it, and like you nail it, and like you're not one of these guys that's like colors for fags, or, you know, I don't like colors, you know, not for men. Like, you're all about like the bright colors.
Well, I think like probably like 5 or 6 years ago, like, I was painting a bunch of this flash where it was like, you know, like using 3 or 4 colors, and that was it. And it's like sitting there and like painting it and like oh man, this is so boring. Like, you know, it's the same shit over and over and over. So start using like different blues and greens and whatnot and purple. It's like, I would love to throw that in tattoos. Every tattoo, you know, just like different colors. And I studied like a little bit of like art schooling, like just in the community college. So I mean, I learned how each color works. So if there's enough black on an area, there should be a lighter color over here that's going to work good with it.
What kind of stuff like really turned you on as a kid visually that made you want to draw like all these crazy pictures and stuff that you do now?
I was really into like the Santa Cruz skateboard graphics because I rode a skateboard my whole since I was like 11. I think I got my first skateboard, and I was like, wow. And that's when like those crazy like Jim Phillips like graphics were coming out, like Jeff Kendall graphics, and, you know, Jeff Grosso, all those crazy old boards. And I was like, wow, man, this stuff is cool, super bright, you know, stupid characters. I would seriously like try to trace a lot of those drawings, like literally just sit there and trace them, and like, oh man, this thing's so cool, you know.
I don't really know the story of like how you broke into tattooing.
The way that happened, it was really weird. My roommate at the time was he was getting tattooed by Joel Dodds. He had me design like big tattoo for his chest and like something for his forearm. I would draw the drawings for him, and it was like Joel would take them and then, you know, put them into a tattoo instead of like my drawings were all, they were there, like the idea was kind of cool or whatever, but it just wasn't set up for a tattoo. And I had like no clue about even wanting to tattoo. I had a few tattoos, but nothing like I want to learn how to tattoo. And because I had a kid when I was pretty young, you know, so yeah, like I took my drawings in there and he was, hey man, like these are really cool, man. I could help you, you know, learn how to put them into tattoo designs, and we could teach you how to tattoo. I was like, wow, let me think about it. That's kind of weird, you know, like I don't know. And then it was like, I had to feed my family, you know, so I was like, do I tattoo or do I work and try to learn how to tattoo? Like, what do you do? I was still young. I didn't know what the hell to do. So just basically started apprenticing, a so-called apprenticeship, you know, like learning how to do everything, you know, build needles. He taught me how to make pigment and deal with some customers, you know, but it was a custom shop. It wasn't really like a street shop or anything. So we were like either in Lodi or in East Sac. So you go downtown and there's a whole different crew of people, and there's people walking around with like Eric Hogan tattoos and Scott Sylvia tattoos and Freddie Corbin tattoos, you know, like all these tattoos that were done in Sacramento or from the Bay Area, and they're awesome. You're like, wow, I want a tattoo like that. Like, that's really cool.
To me, like, San Francisco is like probably the most important single city in the world for tattooing.
Yeah,
if you could put, you know, a thumbtack on one city, you know, where like a lot of people came from, you know, that like not only that they push tattooing, but that San Francisco tattooing is almost like a style in and of itself. You know, like it's a certain look and a certain way of thinking about tattooing.
Looking at all of those tattoos definitely like opened my eyes on like, hey man, like I gotta sit down and do homework. Like I want to learn how to tattoo like that. Like it would be awesome, you know. Like I tripped out looking at like all those old like books of like, you know, like I remember seeing like some temple like articles or whatnot, and, like seeing the tattoos, and they were like way better than some of the tattoos I'd see like from people in like the, you know, the East Coast or whatever. It's like super bright greens and, you know, reds, like stuff, and it just seemed like always looked the same.
Another guy I wanted to ask about that is someone I don't know anything about, but when I met the guy, I was like, I can just see that this guy is an influence on Uzi, and that's Bill Wang.
Bill Wang is just like an old friend of mine that like we kind of all like opened that shop up together, Hard Luck, and he showed me so much shit, man. Like, dude, you gotta make your needles this way, and you know, dude, you gotta do a bold line. Like he was doing bold line work instead of building it up, because we were building up lines when I was learning how to tattoo.
Okay, like in the late 90s.
Yeah, like they're building up, like, you know. And he's like, nah, dude, just make your needles like this, and you can pull that line with, you know, just one pass. He would do it with like a 7, but I don't even remember like what the needles were that we were making needles with. But he would make them so crazy where it would just be like, you'd pull the pass and it was just like, big old friggin' line. Definitely a big inspiration in the beginning of tattooing, because like he tattooed and drew stuff the way I wanted to. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't all built up line work stuff. I mean, I don't know, I seen some of that dude's tattoos just recently, and they're still cool from like 20 years ago.
Nice.
And I was like, holy shit, man, like Bill Wang did that? Like these people are like, yeah, dude. Did it with fucking some homemade tat gear, you know, like in their kitchen. I was like, man, wow, Billy Wang.
Another thing I wanted to ask about, like, what do you think about, because I think of you as like a pretty astute tattooer, and I don't see your tattooing as being trendy, but I see it as being very modern. Like I see you as being one of the tattooers right now, like, you know, I would say lots of hotshot tattooers right now that are totally on your dick. Like you're their biggest influence, you know, and I don't know if you've noticed that.
I don't know, like I've met a bunch of people that have like tried to ask me questions and stuff. Like I'll keep it to minimal. Like on like younger tattooers, they'll like ask me stuff, and it's like, hey man, like, dude, I've traveled a bunch of places by myself, spending my own money, eating shitty food, fucking sleeping on floors to learn how to do this stuff. So it's like, I'm not gonna just teach you that. Like I'm not just gonna show you what I learned, what I went and learned, what I came here and learned. I've been sleeping on Adam's fucking king size mattress in his living room.
Right.
But I actually learned stuff while I was here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got to, like, hang out in the tattoo shop and, like, watch you tattoo, watch Adam tattoo, go to the convention and see what, like, other people were doing. And for people that, you know, like, younger tattooers coming to, like just asking, like, stupid questions, it's like, I don't feel like giving that up, you know?
And, like, so what do you think about, like, that phenomenon of, like, these younger kids don't even know what tattoo time is? Like, at our party last year, I was really stoked. I'm talking a lot, and I apologize.
Oh, no. Oh, shit.
One of the things
we're having a good time.
Was really stoked about was that motherfucking Eddie Deutsch came to my party, dude. When people told me that you can invite him, but he's not going to show up because Eddie, you know, has a baby and doesn't want to go anywhere. He was one of the first people to show up. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, this is the first party at my shop, and motherfucking Eddie Deutsch is in my goddamn shop. And I remember showing some of these younger tattooers, I'd be like, you know who that is over there? Yeah, I'd be like, that's fucking Eddie Deutsch. And they're like, well, who's that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, have you never cracked, like, a tattoo time? Like, art from the heart? And they're like, what's tattoo time? And, like, so, like, what do you think about that there are people out... And some of these kids are doing hotshot tattoos.
A lot of it, I think, has to do with, like, fucking, like, the computer and stuff, you know? Like, people are, like, you know, fucking just going on there and, like, seeing who the hell this is. And they're like, you know, like, who's doing this and doing that. And, like, they're not... I mean, it seems like some of these kids are, like, looking back at just, like, Burke Graham stuff and... you know, whatnot, but, like, they don't look at, like, Terry Tweed stuff.
They might know about Jack Rudy, but, like, maybe they've never seen any, like, Charlie's tattoos. Maybe they don't they don't realize how rad Freddie Negretti used to be.
Oh,
or, like, Terry Tweed and, like, Maverick Mess.
Yeah.
Like, today I was talking about Don Nolan.
Yeah.
You know, or, like, let alone, like, Bob Shaw, like, you know, like, Charlie Wagner, you know, Cap Coleman, like, all this stuff. It's, like, to me... I want to know as much about it as I can.
Yeah, me too. I agree. Like, I want to know, like, I don't know, like, I have some friends that have, like, you know, that live up in, like, Washington that have showed me cool, like, Dave Lum tattoos. You know, and, like, a lot of those people that you're, like the younger kids, they don't know who that is. They don't know, like, they haven't even looked at some of this stuff. And it's like, man, like, all the goofy shit people are trying to do, like, these dudes were already doing.
I feel like there's, like, a certain amount of appreciation for not just the tattooers, but the tattooees that were doing it when it wasn't cool, and that were very in touch with, like, how special it was, you know? When, like, most people just weren't getting tattoos.
Looking back in, like, all those old books, like, a lot of those people, like, they love tattoos. And nowadays, it's just, like... it's such a fad, I think.
I guess kind of, too, what I mean is that, like, I saw Sonny Tufts died.
Yeah.
This is a guy that had a chest eagle in, like, the 70s who might not have been in the military. Maybe he wasn't, maybe he wasn't, but it's just, like, people just didn't do that. You know what I mean? It wasn't, like, something that every dude that was in a band went and just got this giant chest piece with, like, a fucking grenade with wings and, like, fucking 18 words of script from, like, a hardcore song.
Yeah. People follow these trends. I've noticed, like, fuck, man, you could go on Facebook, MySpace, or whatever, you know, and, like, see all the trends. So everyone's, like, these newer tattooers are, like, looking at all that, and so they're like, oh man, I'm gonna do this, you know, I'm gonna try and do this. And it's like, I see a bunch of it just by looking on the internet or whatnot, and it's like, wow, man, this person really fucked this thing up or whatnot, you know. But those whole, like, trends, like, I don't know, man. I'm not into it really. Like, I like to just kind of stick to what I was shown and what I'm trying to, like, draw and do, you know, like, and try to, like, just loosen up on everything, more than, like, sticking straight to this, like, textbook. Like, I mean, I think there is, like, certain ways you should draw stuff, but if you're drawing, like, goofy, humorous tattoos, like, come on, man, like, draw them how you see them, you know?
Out of all the tattooers that I know that seem like a fucking biker, dude, like, you're the one that seems to me like the dude that would, like, be in the Mongols, but you don't have a motorcycle.
I am an outlaw.
I know. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say to anybody or?
Dark Horse.
All right.